Hi, I'm Carrie Blazer, the Divine Feminine, reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. Thank you for clicking on my clip. But I want to let you know that I have a free ebook linked below, my 6 Divine Feminine self-love strategies. They will help you transform your emotional wounds into personal wisdom. And I take a multidisciplinary approach. I include the laws of physics, psychology, neuroscience, shamanism, mysticism. I went wild, okay? So men can understand and women can understand. There's something there for everyone, because what I learned is when something's true, it's true in multiple places. All right, please like and subscribe and help me distribute my ebook to everyone for free by exploding my channel. Take care. Enjoy the clip. Bye. Let's listen to Dr. Mate's clip and then we'll go over Carl Jung, because those two work together.
What happens to a child where the attachment need is not compatible with the need for authenticity? In other words, if I'm authentic, my parents will reject me. If I feel what I feel and express what I feel and insist on my own truth, my parents can't handle it. And parents convey those messages unconsciously all the time. Not because they mean to, not because they don't love the child, not because they're not trying to do their best, but because they themselves are suppressed, or traumatized, or hurt, or stressed. And what does the child do with that? Well, if I give up my attachment for the sake of authenticity, I lose my relationships on which my life depends. Therefore, there's no question. What becomes suppressed is our authenticity, our emotions. And then we become 25 and 30 or 35, 40, and we don't know who we are.
Does that resonate with anyone? That was me. So what does Carl Jung have to say? Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views others find inadmissible. Was that you in your childhood? Because that was me. That was me in my childhood. Let me share exactly how I felt in my childhood. Let me bring up my website, my origin story, which is, I go over a lot of the signs and synchronicities about Mary Magdalene. There's me in my green Carmen Gia. I was raised in Southern California next to Malibu, but I worked at Hot Dog on a Stick from the time I was 14. That's when I started my 6-year career making lemonade, and I bought my own car. That was my car. But here I was at 5 years old, and here is how I felt for most of my life. That is a statue I found about 2 years ago of a grieving parent, and I didn't know that about my forced abortions in my teenage years at that point. But that's helped me see myself and accept myself. Why would I resonate so much with a grieving parent when I don't remember having a miscarriage and I didn't agree to any abortions knowingly? I have 3 adult children, and as far as I knew, I'd only been pregnant 3 times. That's the hole I had inside of myself. So if I'm like that, what's left to connect with? And do you ever feel like that? Is that the loneliness that you feel? Well, I can tell you that is self-hate from your childhood. That's what it is. And you can heal that by loving yourself day in, day, and you're going to go up, and you're going to go down, up, and you're going to go down. But you're going to figure out how to surf. The waves of life that I'm surfing, I had to learn to surf the waves of life to feel confident enough to say, I'm the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. I'm going to make a ton of YouTube videos about it, and I have a webinar about it, and I'm going to talk about it publicly. That's how much I had to learn to surf the waves of life. And I'm about to sell my condo, right? And I haven't talked to Jason yet. There's so much healing that needed to happen between us. I talk to his soul all day long. We're getting closer, but you can imagine what was his life like. And we attract what we are, and he went to the FBI. What was his childhood like that drove him to act like that? And I saw him in high school. He wanted to talk to me during the day. I wouldn't let him near me in high school. He's the ASB president of a school of 2,000 kids, looks like Adonis, I kid you not, like blonde hair, blue-eyed, smart, a varsity, on the outside, the perfect guy. And I wouldn't even let him talk to me. I was scared to death of him. And I didn't know why. But elementary school, I didn't remember. Anyway, that's how I felt, and that's how I know this quote from Carl Jung and why I resonated with Andrew Tate, which I think we're going to get to here in a second. But Carl Jung, one does not become enlightened by imagining beings of light but by making their darkness conscious. When we overactivate our brain and shut down our hearts, that's when we imagine, oh, utopia and outside of me and external can help me and help me and help me. It's like a childhood dream. But adults, we learn, okay, no one's coming to save me, and I'm an adult. I know this. I got to pull myself up by my bootstraps and fix my problems. And so fixing your problems, making your darkness conscious in your subconscious, like I did, your wounds that are driving your dysfunctional behavior patterns, that are sabotaging your life. They used to sabotage my life and they don't anymore. And it took me 10 years to do it. It's a long process.